officially 9 days away from the start of the draft, so let's take a look at some notable players who were drafted with the 9th overall pick. Hall of Fame offensive lineman Bruce Matthews was drafted 9th by the Houston Oilers in 1983. Matthews played all 19 of his seasons with the franchise, earning 14 Pro Bowl selections. The Panthers selected linebacker Luke Kuechly 9th overall in 2012, and Kuechly made the Pro Bowl in 7 of his 8 seasons. He was also the NFL's Defensive Player of the Year in 2013. And Hall of Fame linebacker Brian Urlacher was drafted 9th by the Bears in 2000. Urlacher played all 13 of his seasons with the Bears and was the NFL's Defensive Player of the Year in 2005. So that leads us to this. The Bears also have the 9th overall pick in this year's draft. And Mel Kiper Jr. has him taken former Washington wide receiver Rome Odunze, which would pair him with the presumptive #1 overall pick Caleb Williams. Yesterday, Odunze went on the Adam Schefter podcast and explained why he believes he's the top receiver in the draft.
Yeah, I think I'm wide receiver 1 in this upcoming draft, and that's not a knock at any of the receivers in the draft, including those two. I think they're tremendously talented, tremendously skilled. But I can play outside, I can play inside. I can contest the catch, I can create separation. Across the field, I can block. You know what I mean? I can come out of the backfield on a route. Like for me, the versatility and the completion of my route tree, and my receiver game as a whole is unmatched.
I can't do any of the things that Rome Odunze can do. By the way, we welcome in Matt Miller, our draft analyst, who's joining us. But one thing I can relate to with Rome is I walk when I talk like him. He's walking around the whole time talking to Shefty. He's like, let me be on the move while I tell you why I'm the #1 receiver. Marcus, should the Bears...
Boogie, you got babies.
I know,
you got babies,
that's
Boogie.
true.
You got to be on the move.
I did it before I did that before I had babies, but that'll be my excuse now. Swag, should the Bears be looking to draft a wide receiver at 9, or is there a bigger need?
Yes, Lord, they should be looking to draft a wide receiver. You ain't drafting Caleb Williams to turn around and hand it off 50 times a game. They already brought Keenan Allen in, and I know that would probably give people a pause as to why they shouldn't draft a wide receiver. But last time I checked, this league is about pushing the ball downfield and being explosive, and we've seen Keenan and what his ability is across the middle of the field. You put Rome and obviously DJ Moore on the outside. Now, this is a devastating offense to try to stop. I want to remind people, too, they got DeAndre Swift as well and Khalil Herbert in the backfield. This offense will immediately contend to be one of the top units in the NFL if they draft Rome, coupled with what they've done in the offseason. And, yeah, we could always talk about offensive line and defensive line. Y'all know I'm always with drafting those guys early who can impact the team. But I think where Chicago is right now, being explosive with taking Caleb Williams, go get another wide receiver, because sometimes you might have to put 45 points on the board.
Yeah.
I think with what the Bears have done in the offseason through free agency, it gives them the leniency and the flexibility at #9 to take Rome Odunze. So if he is there at #9, I do think they should draft him. You have to look at this from Shane Waldron, the offensive coordinator's perspective. He's used to having 3 guys that can go out there and be #1 wide receivers because he had DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and Jackson Smith and Jigba just last year. The other part of this for Rome Odunze is that he gets to grow with Caleb Williams.
Let's bring Matt in here. Matt, do you think Odunze will still be on the board when they pick at 9? Because that's going to be, I think, maybe a question we should pay attention to, too.
Yeah, I think it's definitely possible that he will be there at 9. We're all waiting to see which teams trade up into the order and what could mess up the draft order for a team like Chicago waiting at 9, hoping that he lands there. So it's certainly possible. And I think if he is there, this is a no-brainer for the Chicago Bears. I love DJ Moore. Getting Keenan Allen is going to help this offense so much. But those guys, especially Keenan Allen, you're in the back end of your career. Let's start using this advantage of having picks in the top 10 to build for the future. Odunze, you said it earlier, Laura, he's my #3 overall player in this draft. He's someone I compare to Jamar Chase because of his ability to win. He can win 50-50 balls. He can win over the top. We watched that college football game, playoff game against Texas, where everyone knew where the ball was going and no one could stop anything that he was doing. And those corners at Texas are going to be in the NFL within the next couple of years. They're solid players. So that ability and having a young wide receiver for Caleb Williams to grow with in his career. You could have Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase in Chicago with these two weapons being added in the top 10.
I mean, those comps, I think, say it for you right there. Drafting Odunze, just to remind people, gives the Bears a wide receiver trio, as we've talked about, of Odunze, DJ Moore, and Keenan Allen. The Bears have already done so much to set up this #1 overall pick for success. That would just be the next step there.